So thank you everybody for tuning in today. I'm Lucy Millard. I'm an onboarding specialist at AutogenAI. So my role mainly involves training the new users, conducting regular training and check-in sessions. And another really important part of it is gathering user feedback. So I have an ongoing conversation with all our clients, and then I feed back to the product team so they can continually improve the quality of our system. And the purpose of the webinar today is to showcase AutogenAI. As you can already see, I've got a little sample bid going up there on the screen, but I'm interested in showing you how it can save time and the efficiency benefits that it offers, enabling you to win more bids. So right now, our enterprise level solutions are being used by clients across 3 continents for bid writing, thought leadership, marketing copy, and really so much more. And with that, we're seeing our clients experience an 85% increase in efficiency rates, 70% increase in productivity, and a proven average increase of 30% in win rates, which we're absolutely delighted with here at AutogenAI, because we have been designed to give businesses the competitive edge needed to win new work in today's ever-competitive market. And we do that by using cutting-edge natural language processing software to make a company's language work for them, saving time and money, as well as improving the quality of the bids overall. So bid writing, as I'm sure a lot of you already know, is a multifaceted, time-consuming process that involves research, comprehensive data interpretation, and that creative flair to stand out with the writing. There's all sorts of stages, whether it be understanding the scope, gathering info, crafting responses, adhering to all the complex formatting guidelines. And then, of course, you've got to draft and redraft until you're ready to submit that bid. So this tool system has been built by a team of bid writers here at my office for bid writers specifically, and it's based around the workflow of writers to address each and every one of the pain points. That is what each of the features is actually based on. So when we look forward at tech, at the future, we don't see a business case, a proposal, a bid, a thought leadership paper, or a brochure that's going to be written without some aid of AI. Just as it's unthinkable to create a financial model without Excel, it's becoming ever more clear that it doesn't make sense to write without generative AI. And so we want to help you to embrace that technology and enable you to stay ahead across all sectors. So let's dive in here to this screen share that I'm doing now on how AutogenAI actually works and what it can do for your team's writing process. I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview first before we jump into the details. So this tab here is for projects. And this is what allows you to work on a number of different bids at the same time, as well as proposals. So you can see I've got a couple going on here, but there really isn't a limit. You can have multiple projects going on simultaneously, and it's within these that you can actually manage members and invite people to collaborate, contribute as admin, or just to view your work as you're going through. Now, if I was to be in one of these documents, actually working on a bid, I could ideate at any time here with this light bulb. This takes me to the ideator, where I can use different forms of AI to search 3 vast sources and begin storyboarding, structuring my answer. We've also got, if I go here into our bid project, this inputs tab, where I can build out win themes to weave in at a later stage. Scanning back to our tabs here, we've also got the extract tab where I can paste in entire specifications. You've already got one set here for 27,000 words, huge specification that I pasted in, and I can get summaries, extractions, commissioners' priorities, and I can shred out key information too, really saving time in that preparation phase as I need to read through vast documents in a really fast amount of time as well. So when we've got the research assistant tool where I go to access both the internet and the library. So things that I've already got stored in my vast company library, previously written bids, etc. And I can actually use this as a fact checker to build out answers to questions that might enable me to better draft my responses. Now, just looking at the bottom here, we have our settings and our library. So when I talk about library, I'm talking about the huge amount of documents that your organization can upload into our system in order to act as a source to inform the AI. I think of it like a memory for the artificial intelligence. So anything that you put in here is then essentially knowable by the AI and therefore retrievable. And the idea is that the selected individuals from within your organization are assigned as document managers, and they're responsible for uploading and organizing your documents, which are kept secure by our commitment to industry best practices across the board, all affirmed by the latest ISO and Cyber Essentials certifications. So if I was to go back into my project and get started, that's kind of an overview for you. I can actually go straight into a particular question because that's how I've decided to organize my documents here. And I can start to ideate. Now you can see here that I have not selected which folders. So I'm going to go for all of the folders, dive back into that document, back to the ideator, and then I can actually start to search. So I just popped in a question there related to our company and what it's doing now with a bit of context that I've added in advance here. So all I did is put in the AutogenAI is bidding for an IT contract for the private sector. It's given it a bit of context to the tool. It's now searching across the library. So I'm imagining a little librarian going into our documents, finding relevant pieces of information. Creative AI, which is large language models, and the internet, which is published and up-to-date information from top search outputs. So you can see here I've been presented with some options, and just like I would in the writing phase, I can begin to plot out and plan my answer. So I can select the ideas that I like. I get to check the sources, which library source has it done, has it used to develop this idea, sorry. And then I can check which internet source has been used as well. So I can build out a few ideas, and then I get to use my human intelligence to augment with the AI to structure an answer, build out an argument, add in custom ideas here at the bottom, and then I can copy to clipboard, or I can simply generate paragraphs. And we have a new feature coming soon as well, which will allow you to synthesize ideas too. So both generate paragraphs and synthesize ideas are going to immediately build out a first draft. So you can really see how quickly we can go from an original question, selecting of ideas from 3 vast sources with a context, to actually building out an answer and then into a generated draft, which is pretty exciting. And this is what adds so much flexibility to your writing process. By having the concept of modify ideas, we can make them more cost-focused, we can make them more innovative, environment-focused, whatever it might be that you're trying to angle your answer to. At this stage in the ideation, you can actually use these features to aid your work. And then it automatically takes me back to my document, the one that I was working with alongside my ideation phase, and builds out paragraphs underneath each of the bullet points that are now listed in bold. So you can see this is one of my ideas that I selected, and we have our draft underneath. And I can immediately start building on this even further with this excellent toolbar along the top. This is a whole host of editing tools. We actually called this section our editor because we believe that it's at this phase that you want to draft, refine. So I could potentially expand on certain ideas using certain parts of the AI and to a specific word count, should I want to. I could also use some other features along here to improve the grammar, to summarize, and one of our most popular features, to reduce the word count. So it's already delivered me some outputs from Creative AI. So that's a vast range of large language models that we use to aid our writing process. I've got some stuff from the internet, from 2 sites here. And that's just my expansion of that original paragraph. And I send it in with these little arrows here for the options I like. You can also, of course, just copy and paste certain sections and send that in. But what this does, which is quite different to a lot of AI, different AI models, is allows me, the human, to be part of the writing process. Nothing goes into my work here unless I agree to it by sending it in, by ticking the box to actually arrow it over to the left-hand side. So I can highlight pieces of text and continue to work my way along this editing toolbar. I might click We Will, which changes my text from passive text to active bid text based on the company name that I'm writing from the perspective of. I can send that in, can show difference here, so you can see how it's changed it into a more active style text using a back-end prompt that our engineers have designed. Or I can weave in win themes, inputs, things that I've preset as I first demoed to actually strengthen text. So I preset some win themes that I'd found during my research and said that I want to focus on perhaps cost reduction, improved decision-making, etc. I simply hit the relevant one and it will design an answer that combines both the paragraph on the left with the win theme on the right. And then I can just scan through those, find the one that I like the most and send it in. There really is a vast range of tools up at the top here too. And search is one that it might be worth mentioning actually, whilst I go through these. This actually allows me to take a section of text and find where it's sourced from in my library, anything similar semantically based on the meaning of the words, or anything literally word for word that appears similar to this. But the beauty of AI and this particular tool is that we never copy anything exactly. So all the outputs on the right-hand side will be variations of things in my library, allowing us to repurpose bid text really easily. So I've explained expand, we touched on summarize, improving the grammar, and some of these really popular tools down here, like reducing word count. So there's 118 words highlighted. I'm burning the late night candle. I need to reduce this down to 80, working in chunks. I can select how many words I want it to be changed to, and the AI will generate an answer for me there. And there's also some evidencing tools I can send in. The one I like from the word count reduction. Plenty of options to choose from too. But perhaps I want to take an assertion or a claim and build out the evidence for it. But I know we've written something similar in my library somewhere, but I can't quite remember what or when. Well, I can simply click Add Case Study, and it will go through my library and see if there's a relevant case study. I can do the same with our Add Statistics button, Explain How button, or For Example button, all of which are able to scan through these vast sources and deliver me examples, statistics, evidence that are going to help bolster my bid answer and make it a lot more specific and bespoke, tailored to the needs of whatever I'm prompting for. One notable case study, blah, blah, blah. You've got examples here from my library delivered in just a matter of seconds. Rephrase is another brilliant one. Should I not be like totally happy with the outputs of the AI, I can hit rephrase and it will just rewrite the same using a library of synonyms to best support us. And I love the fact that I can preview this whilst it's streaming. So I'm not just sat waiting with a little window. I can show the difference, see what's been changed at any point. If I get stuck on what any of the features do, I simply hit the help button and I get that whole list. So really, I'm spending a lot of my time here in the projects functionality. But this is really quite similar in the drafts too. If I don't want to collaborate and I just want to work individually, I can start a similar looking draft with an ideator here as well. And if at any point I want to dive back into any of my other documents, I can simply do so by clicking this on the left-hand side. So that's our projects and drafts tab, and we've seen a little bit about what the library does. So let's dive into extract in a bit more detail. So by using this kind of barn door window, I can switch between previous extractions. These could be summaries or perhaps extractions of a specific output like the commissioner's priorities. You can see my history here of things I've done previously. And then I can start different ones again by browsing my library of folders on my computer, uploading a specification, might be several hundred pages long, and I can get that summary down to 2 pages, a page, or I can extract particular things. Or I can paste in text like I've done here with this 27,000 words. And one last feature to call out is our Gamma Review, which is a brand new feature that allows us to actually review sections of text based on predefined or bid-specific criteria. So this is another really popular feature with our clients who are looking to make sure that their bids really stand out. So I can actually update the criteria to specific tender requirements. I can pop in a question that is the bid question itself, and then the requirements that I've taken from the spec. So let's say I extracted some of these commissioners' priorities here. I can take a section of those that might be relevant and then just copy them to clipboard, head back to my project, and paste in certain requirements. Let's see if I can paste it in. I'm not sure if I copied it before. Let's go back. And then I head into my document really quickly there, update the criteria and paste it in. I think I'm not quite nailing this clicking, but normally this would allow me to paste in criteria and a question and actually to get my question marked. Or I can select predefined criteria. So perhaps approach your methodology or evidence, robustness, innovation, spelling and grammar, all things that are really useful for reviewing the quality of the bid overall. And then what will happen is I'll get presented with some outputs for ways that I can improve that answer based on these predefined criteria, which are what our researchers found were some of the most common ways that bids are assessed. So it allows me so much flexibility when it comes to improving the quality of my bids in a really short amount of time. So I've used AutogenAI today for some specific examples related to our company, but I think it's really important that you have the chance to try out what might work best for what you're working on with your own organization. And I think it'd be great to have a demo, so you should definitely get in touch with us, contact@autogenai.com, because really all these features combined are what allow for bid writers to create content faster and more efficiently than ever before. And at AutogenAI, we really do believe in augmented intelligence. So the power of humans and AI together. And really, rather than replacing bid writers, it's more accurate to say that we're delegating tasks to AI. And we have a team of people here to support with onboarding to ensure that you totally understand the tool and all of its powerful functionality. Even just by hitting question mark here, you can be presented with a user guide, a prompting guide, ideas for prompting with bids, frequently asked questions, and our online academy, which allows you to train at your own pace with bite-sized video content that we're consistently updating. You're able to directly report any issues or give feedback, and we can include your ideas in the future of this product too. So using our software, you can get to a good first draft standard in minutes instead of hours or days, and then spend the rest of your time using human intelligence to incorporate creativity and, importantly, strategic thinking to get that bid up to winning quality. By automating the time-consuming and mundane aspects of bidding, where we're trying to source stuff from the library, research online, and build out answers, we get to give you and your business all across all sectors the competitive edge by giving you more time to focus on strategic planning and building strong client relationships, as well as completing high-level tasks. So this is your assistant. This is your way to be aided and to aid your work using AI. So thank you so much for listening to that today. I'd love to take any questions that you might have in the chat. And if you don't have any, please feel free to email over any that you might have, and I can pop an email address in the chat now for you. I'll just give a couple of minutes in case you do have anything to add. What I might just do for the last couple of minutes is change the below into a PowerPoint presentation with 5 slides, 4 bullet points on each slide, and speaker notes. We're going to just change this into a PowerPoint using our pure completion feature. You can see already, even though I've highlighted a fair amount of text there, it's actually started to build me out a PowerPoint presentation. And once I've chosen the option that I like, once it's generated all the slides that I need, I can just send that in. Still working. It's formatted it nicely as well in bold, telling me the characters and the words. Send that in as a slideshow. And then what I can actually do is export the entire thing into a PowerPoint. And we now have the capability to align this with your company's branding. So you can actually immediately take text that you've generated and change it into a PowerPoint presentation organized by slides using your prompt. And it'll just immediately download onto my computer, all complete and ready to go. Just checking we haven't had any other questions. If anyone wants to check in on any of our security policies or ways of working, then we're absolutely here to answer those questions via email moving forwards.